talking about you. It's a big thing. It's a good thing, and you guys are putting on for TAM-UT, and that's awesome. I want to hear about it. Though. I want to hear from you.
Man, it's been fun to be a part of. Not to say I didn't know what we were going to be, but since I got here, it was from the jump. Getting to know the guys and kind of seeing what the talent was like, and then we just started rolling. I'm like, man, another win, another win, another win. And it kind of just like I said, it's been fun to be a part of. Now it's finish the goal, which is obviously win the conference tournament and then try to go to Kansas City. So
So I guess I would say, first off, go ahead and introduce yourself to everybody who might be listening or viewing who may not know who you are, Coach.
so my name is Thomas Bullock. Obviously, came here from Salt Lake City, Utah. Just with a passion to coach. I was doing some youth stuff and just always been around the game. After I finished playing myself, had the opportunity to play 4 years, and then from there, just we went into some COVID stuff, and then I decided to take the route of trying to coach. We just talked about, like, I got connected with some people, and then that connected me with Coach Wall and kind of got me out here. But I mean, ultimately, I've lived in Salt Lake City, Utah. Did a lot of stuff with the youth and some high school stuff out there, but just kind of always been around basketball.
So I guess you were old enough to see Michael Jordan push off, huh?
No, sir.
You're not that old?
I'm not that old. I'm 29.
Okay, we're the same age. So
Interesting.
we were young.
Okay.
I was
Okay.
young.
Yeah, we were
Okay, so you weren't old
It
enough to
was like the
understand
back
what.
end. The back end.
Okay. So you're 29. You're a young guy. Is that why Coach Wall got you around to recruit these dogs y'all got? You got one from Memphis. You got one from out of other
everywhere.
Yeah,
Fort Worth,
yeah.
everywhere.
I mean, those were. I mean, I can't even take on those. Those are his recruits.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, hopefully, obviously, the plan is to bring in some more, but and just kind of build our connection that way. We can combine, who he knows, who I know, and try to keep it rolling. But like, yeah, you're right. These guys, some dogs, man.
You guys, so NAIA basketball is different. Are you guys NAIA?
Yeah,
Yeah, you are. Yeah, I thought so. Yeah. So that's a little different than the actual NCAA, but NAIA basketball is just as good. Guys still can go
Facts.
play overseas. There's a guy that played in the NBA, George, for the Lakers back in the day. I forgot his name.
Devin George, maybe?
Yes, he played in the NAIA, and I just know the NAIA ball isn't.
And even now, Texas A&M, Texarkana, they have their own very first professional basketball player with Desmond Kennedy. Yeah, he's playing overseas. So, you see the impact that the program is having already. And I think this is only like the third or fourth year the program has been around.
Yes.
So that's pretty good.
What would you like to say about that, Coach?
I think so. I think NAIA is obviously I had the chance to play NAIA. So my first school was NAIA, and then my last school was NAIA. So kind of we talked about the journey, but yeah, the NAIA route I think oftentimes gets overlooked. Just because it's not the NCAA,
right? P5,
you
Power
hear
5,
that, Power 5, or just what you hear, what you see and stuff. So, guys tend to overlook it. Coming out of high school, they like, guys will. I think it oftentimes can make it harder to recruit, but if you kind of do your research and do your homework, I think wherever you at is what you make it. Like you said, there's guys that have made it big out of the NAIA level. So. Nobody said it'd be easy, but that's just the reality of it. I think if you come in ready to work or your talent, you just showcase that. I mean, you can do whatever you need to do out of the NAIA level.
That's a
but
fact.
It's definitely different. Obviously there's a little bit of different rules. You can typically you'll have some older guys depending on the route they take to get to where they're at, but the NAIA level is it's definitely an opportunity. You just got to take advantage of it.
So. This is a question I want to know. Tyler probably don't want me to ask this. For what is it like working for the drip god? Because I like Coach Wall because he has just me personally, he has a relatability with his players that just the Dior ones it got me. Like I'm still on that.
Man, I've been trying to keep up since I got here. I be having to clean them up. I got to go home and wipe the J's down.
Right.
As soon as
Step
I
with
start
Coach,
seeing,
huh?
Yeah, I'm like, and then you got Vontae pulling up like you said. He be dripped out too, so I got to keep up. But I mean, man, it's been cool. Learning a lot from Coach, the drip guy.
Yeah.
And I think
He be sharp now with
think,
his suits and stuff.
yeah, I think that
Combination be killer.
Yeah.
the biggest thing I can take from it is like I think I can appreciate is he's a straight up guy.
Yeah.
You know, he's gonna tell you what he's gonna say. You know, he's not gonna sugarcoat nothing, and I think that's the easiest way to learn and just learn from him.
So talk about your journey as a player. I know you play ball a little bit yourself on the collegiate level as well. Kind of talk about your journey as a player and how was that for you having the experience to play ball yourself?
Um, my my journey was kind of like a build up. So like believe it or not, my family sport was BMX racing. I used to race
Oh
bikes.
wow.
Mm.
I used to race BMX bikes all over the country and with my pops. And then
Jeremy Pastrana.
Pastrami.
Yeah, Jeremy Pastrana. Yeah.
Yeah, he was actually motorcycle.
Okay.
But I was like manpower, like
Okay.
pedal
Right.
bikes.
PM. Yeah.
But like we we used to travel all over and do that. And so in high school, I ended up being pretty good at basketball or middle school, and that's when I kind of, my buddy came up to me one day. It was like, hey, like we play like Super League is what they were calling it, the AAU stuff.
Yeah.
And he's like, hey, would you be down to come play? And like this is just him seeing me play at recess. So like my love for the game kind of just built from there. But I was always racing bikes, and then from there I just kind of once my dad passed, it took a shift, and I just decided to try to pursue playing. So I didn't really actually go to college until I was like 20, 21.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was I was like a late bloomer. Like I just became a gym rat and was always in the gym. People like, oh, why you never played after high school? Because like we were good in high school. It just wasn't my main focus. And then after that, I kind of just decided, I was like, I'm going to the gym every day. I'm going to go work on my game. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that, and then I had the ability to go to college, which was a crazy route for me. Like I went to a tryout at Salt Lake Community College in Taylorsville, Utah, and met my roommate, one of my best friends, Marcus Ellis. But we literally both got shut down at the tryout, and then we literally that next week we met at the tryout. He was from Oregon. We met at the tryout that next week. Decided to drive from Salt Lake to Espanola, New Mexico, for a tryout, just to go and try to see if we can make a team. We both ended up making a team over there, and then that's where I started. Kind of it all just started from there, and then I ended up doing a freshman year or a red shirt in a freshman year out there, and then from there, like I said, took a break, had a break year, didn't get any offers or anything out of there. Worked, I was going to a local school, going to some of the college games, introducing myself to coaches, sending emails, doing all that stuff, and then ended up going JUCO, going to junior college at Colorado Northwestern in Rangeley, Colorado, which was quite the experience. A super small town, but just I was just excited to have the opportunity to play again, get back on the court, and then had a decent year there. And then I got a 2-year scholarship over at a school called Holy Family, which is actually under now in Wisconsin. So in Manitowoc, Wisconsin. So yeah, it was quite the journey, but I had to keep pushing and just keep trying to put myself out there really and just keep working. But like I said, blessed to this day to be able to still have played 4 years and like just keep pushing through that. Even when I had to take a year off and do those things, but I've always ultimately just kind of stayed in the gym and just try to keep working, which then turned into a love and a passion for, coaching and doing like skill development and, helping guys understand how to work on their craft and how to just continue to keep pushing regardless of the situation. So
that's real.
So I got some questions about BMX because you hit me with I was not thinking about. I should have said skateboarding or something. That's crazy. So tell me about BMX because that's a sport that a lot of your competitors and peers, they don't look like you.
yeah.
So that's like playing lacrosse, or being on a swim team,
or a soccer field.
Yes, yes, those things. So like, was that awkward for you to be the only kid that might have wore Jordans or DGK back then or something like that?
I think I was just when I was doing it because I started when I was 3 years old.
Okay,
And that wasn't really.
How'd you start when you were 3?
My pops was doing it. Like he was back.
So you pretty much grew into it.
Yeah, grew into it, and like I was like, I remember I was like 3, 4 years old, and I asked him like, why can't I race? And he like, you gotta learn how to ride a bike. And so I learned how to ride a bike in like a week, and then I just hit the ground running. But that's all I knew until a certain point, and then as I started traveling and doing those things, that's what I did realize. Like you kind of like just rare.
You're an anomaly.
Yeah, sure. Anomaly. It's just like man, but I was good at it, so I didn't really, I kind of developed a name. I was actually ranked at one point.
How high?
I was ranked 8 in the country on cruiser, so they had like different races you can sign up for. Like you're riding a certain bike and certain stuff like that, like 24-inch wheels, 20-inch wheels. Yeah. So I was ranked 8 in the country at one point in 20-inch, and then 18 one year. Won the state title 4 times in Salt Lake in Utah. So like I was actually making some waves, and at one point thinking about trying to go pro and do all that. But then, like I said, once my dad passed, it kind of hit different. Like it was like, I don't know if this is where my passion's at anymore. I get to the track and pops ain't there. Like I grew into it, so that was kind of where that was at. And then that was kind of my, kind of told me to, maybe this is time to try this.
Find something else.
Find something else. And I had always loved basketball. I was good at it. I just never really actually was working on it. I would just show up and play.
Well, with all that happening, do you think basketball was kind of an escape for you?
No doubt.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was like somewhere else I could be without kind of having those memories. But
it
was something I'm like, okay, I can work at this now.
Yeah.
And like try to be good at this.
So my question would be kind of talk about the differences between Utah, which is, where you live and where you're from, and Colorado, which is, where you went to JUCO. I mean, they're kind of similar. You would kind of think in certain ways, but kind of talk about those experiences and what are the differences and similarities between the two. What would you say?
I don't know. I've taken something from everywhere.
Yeah.
Like I think that's kind of why I was able to kind of get accustomed here a little bit more quickly than normal, just because I've always been the kind of small town feel. Like all 3 of my schools were pretty small. And so, people like, oh, Texarkana. Like, I'm like, man, I've been to Rangeley, Colorado, which was, one stoplight in the whole town, no fast food. So that JUCO life. Then
we're going to break. That's what that is. We'll be back. We'll pick right back up on that note. You're listening to the Power Hour here on 107.9 The Fan.
Look local first, and you are helping our community. Small business rely on us to look local first, and your support is truly appreciated.
The Mustard Seed Spice Market has over 300 spices in stock. You can also get jams, mustards and spreads, kitchen items, and even gift sets. 4701 Texas Boulevard, across from Pace Glass, or order online at mustardseedspices.com.
Don't throw your damaged cell phone away. It's repairable. Whether it's a screen replacement or micro soldering, M-Tech Electronics can repair it. And at the best price in town. Call them today for your smartphone, computer, and game console repairs. 4012 Summerhill Square, Texarkana.
Local business, you are helping the entire community.
Trust no skeezers on the beat, so I know it's slapping.
the American Cancer Society.
Welcome back to the Power Hour here on 107.9 The Fan. We do want to send a shout out to our radio broadcasting partners. Our broadcast is brought to you by Liberty Aloe ISD and Budweiser. I don't drink. My boy Earl sips a little bit. Coach, I'm sure you don't drink, huh?
Right now, no.
No, we're gonna say you don't, Coach. Right? Just say you don't. When we say
don't follow to our bait.
Yeah, no, we just say you don't.
But nah, neither one of us drink up here. But we do want to send a shout out to Budweiser for being a proud supporter of the Power Hour. But anyways, Coach, let's switch it up a little bit. Kind of talk about this season. How's this season going for you guys? I know you guys have won quite a bit games this year. You know, y'all won way more than you've lost. What's your record? I think it's like
19-5.
Okay, 19-5. So
shout out to y'all.
I know, right?
Working, man. Working.
So just talk about that. Talk about this season, how it's been, you know, and all that good stuff, Coach.
I think it's been good, man. We I wouldn't say anybody's surprised, but as it's gone on, I think, you know, we kind of just have been falling into that, like, man, we good and we can be better. I think you come into a season and you have to develop a identity and, you know, who does what, who your guys are and the roles and stuff like that. But I think as a whole, like, we've been doing a good job of finding out, you know, how we've been winning and what we're good at. And then we just kept it rolling. You know, we finding the ways to win. Every game's different, obviously. We've had some bumps in the road. I mean, as any team would. But ultimately, we've been able to keep it together. And, you know, I think the biggest thing is just the guys are likable guys. You know, everybody, I think when you're actually friends and off the court and doing those things, like, it just helps the team camaraderie and the team on the court. And it's shown just that in our record. Like, it's been fun to be a part of. When we're in the gym and practice gym, you know, guys get after each other, and then we take it to the court. But ultimately, it's been fun to be a part of. Just seeing the success we've been able to have. You know, now is just trying to figure out, you know, how to finish strong. And you know, like I said, the goal been the same all year. So definitely been fun. Go ahead.
How have you guys been able to sustain success?
I mean, I think that starts with the drip god, man.
Yeah.
Just the expectation and the standard he sets, and, you know, guys being consistent every day, taking care of our business, and just, you know, it just goes hand in hand. Like, you don't wake up and not prepare and then go win. We play in a solid conference. You know, you got to prepare that way, and I think the guys have just done a good job of that all year.
Well, I attribute 50% to the drip god, but I also attribute 25 to you and 25 to homie with the Sachis on, you know.
Yeah, I'll take 25.
Yeah. So,
is there a third assistant as well?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
James Kingsley.
Gotcha. Shout out Coach Kingsley.
I believe that as teams, like when you get to college, you're dealing with 18 to 24-year-olds. It's a little different.
Mm-hmm.
I believe you have to lean on your assistants more when you have sustained success like you guys have.
Yeah.
So I was just, you know, talking about you guys.
Yeah. I mean, I think as an assistant coming in, and, you know, like you said, you do have to lean on them at times. I think, you know, my whole thing coming in this year was to really just, you know, provide where I can provide and really just kind of make it real for the guys. Like, you know, I've been in your shoes. Coach has been in your shoes, but, like, I'm here to tell you again, I've been in your shoes too. Like, you know, make the best of this opportunity. You know, it's going to go quick. Like, just little things to kind of keep in their ear, but also while, you know, give them somebody to, you know, for them to lean on, you know, and, you know, have another coach that can talk to them about certain stuff they need to know, or, you know, their curiosity and stuff like that. But ultimately, just like you said, we work as a unit, and I think that's what's helped us been able to just sustain the success we've had so far this year.
So what's
obviously TK, man? We've got some fans, man.
Absolutely,
yeah. They're loyal out here, man.
So kind of talk about that now that you bring that up. Kind of talk about the community support, because I will say, as a resident of Texarkana, the community is coming out this year, like I think like never before, you know, in the past few seasons to kind of support you guys. And I know it's number one because the program is growing. You know, it's gaining, you know, experience and all that good stuff. But just kind of talk about for you as a coach, and you know, I'm sure you hear the players talking about it, all that good stuff. How has that been for not only you guys, but for the girls program as well? Because, you know, both of y'all play, you know, back-to-back double headers usually. So how's that been for the overall program?
Man, it's been the fuel. Like, you know how oftentimes they talk about the 6-man and stuff like that. I mean, we talk about it in film sometimes. Like Coach will go and, you know, point out the crowd, and he's like, "This is awesome right here. This is dope." Like for you guys to have these people come and support you guys, like now we can't let up. You know, we gotta be consistent because you got guys rooting for you and people coming to support you guys, and you know, making sure they get off work so they don't miss a home game. Yeah. So it's that's good to see. Like I said, I don't have a gauge to kind of gauge like how it's been in the past, but I wouldn't say I was surprised either. But it's dope to have, you know, see the same faces every time we have a home game, and you know the kids come out and that, like the other night, the senior night, man, there was a vibe in there. That was dope.
It was real dope.
I'm like, man, I'm kind of sad as the last game,
right?
Last
me too.
Home game. That was fun.
It was fun.
Me back. I was like, man,
you ready to suit up?
I want to suit up.
Yeah. I will say, you know, being there, because I've come to a few games this year throughout the season, but I will say Saturday was a different vibe, and I don't know if it was because it was senior night or whatever the case may be, but it was a different vibe all around, from the crowd to you guys, and then you guys took care of business on the court, which is the biggest part of it.
That's the testament to it. Like I think the guys they've shown improved this year.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of like a last hoorah. Like now, you know, these guys have something to look forward to next season.
Yeah.
Hopefully, you know, we can bring in kind of and only go up from here. So I think that was kind of where that vibe came from. You know, the guys are like, it's the last home game. Let's support them. But then, you know, if this is, you know, what they're going to be bringing, let's do it.
I think I saw a stat where between the girls and the boys, I think they were 26-0 at home this year.
26-0 at home.
Wow.
Crazy, ain't it?
Wow.
Yeah.
That's unthinkable.
So, Coach TB, man, I'll be on the foolishness up here.
He do. He the fool one.
Yeah, I'm a fool. I'm a real fool. People tell you that. So I got a question, man. It's a real question, though, but it's kind of foolish. 5 years from now, where you at? And I asked that because
that's not foolish.
Well, I mean, I don't want him to put a target on his back and drip God looking at him like, "Are you gonna leave here?" But this the thing,
Coach Wall. I'm pretty sure he knows that when you have success, people are gonna come after your assistants.
Absolutely,
people might come after him too.
Don't say that.
I'm just saying though.
Don't say that just
it's the reality of the situation.
That's true.
I mean, it's just that. It's the reality of it. Like, if you have a goal and you know where you try to get to, you know,
so what's your goal? You know what I mean?
To be a head coach.
On what level?
College.
What division?
Division 1. But I mean, obviously,
work your way up.
Work your way up and kind of, you know, see the path. But I mean, I'm pretty sure at the beginning of the year, coaches even talked about it. Like he's never had the intention to just try to keep people here. Like that's his job too, is to get people out. You know. So I mean, he's realistic that way. He knows.
Because once you build up something real nice and real good, like, I don't want to let Tyler go because we built up this media thing. You know what I'm saying? Tyler always be talking that yin. But I'm like, bro, you're not finna walk away from this. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we're not. Yeah, that ain't how we finna go. Like, I don't care what you got going on. I ain't finna do that.
You ain't gonna tell me what I would do,
man. Because we built this thing up. Think I'm finna just let you walk off? No, sir. That ain't how this goes. So, like, you've helped him and Versace and the other guy.
The man name is Vontae. Coach Vontae.
Vontae and Versace sound the same. And JJ.
Versace Vontae. That's his new name.
Yeah, Versace Vontae and JJ. You guys have. I mean, look what you're doing. Somebody's gonna come holler at you. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I don't know if you and your boss's relationship is good enough to where, because I could last year when them people came at me, I couldn't come at my boss and tell her, "Hey, these people, they said I can come over here and work for them." Well, she would have fired me on the spot.
I mean, I think that's just the reality. Like he said, that's the reality of it. I think when you're trying to move up in this, you know, in this industry and coaching and those things, that's what you do. You know, you come out and you touch people or you change people's lives, and then you kind of are supposed to be there for that time, and then you wherever you called to, you know, the situation at hand, wherever you know, whatever it looks like for you personally, is, you know, the decisions that should be made. But like, I don't think there would be any, you know, hard feelings or things like that.
Good.
I think that's ultimately what's supposed to happen.
Good.
And like you kind of mentioned earlier, he's had that in the past. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Where he's had guys leave. So you know, I'm pretty sure. You know.
Well, I mean,
But I'm sure he would hate that too, though.
That
you
would
know.
make you salty.
Absolutely.
Like, hey, I mean, not the fact that you're growing.
No, you want to see your guys elevate. You know,
but like, man, you helped me, boy. I don't want you to leave. You know what I'm
you
saying?
hate to start over.
Yeah,
you hate to start afresh.
I
know what you mean.
refuse to start over.
Yeah,
so
I know what you mean.
Tyler ain't going nowhere. So
I mean, ultimately, it'd be his fault.
yeah,
Like, man, you trained me up. You know, taught me some things. You should have just left me.
And that's the way. That's the way it goes. Though. You know, once you learn from a wizard like him, you know, you're supposed to, you know, perform the same way. But I guess one of my questions would be, what are outside of basketball? What are some of the goals that you want to achieve for yourself outside of basketball, outside of being a coach? What is something that you might want to achieve, or some things that you might want to achieve?
I mean, the ultimate, obviously, just like anybody would say, just be successful with anything I do. You know, there might be a new passion that comes along, and I can go from there. But ultimately, this has been the new. You know, after it was hooping, that's kind of it's been this now. Like I said, I was in youth for probably the last 4 or 5 years, and then like 6 and 7 years off and on when I was playing. But so this has always been there, and that I won't say that there's not a backup plan, but that's kind of always been the vision. Like, I want to coach. Like I said, I was always for the kids. My friends used to always be like, Tommy, little kids, because I would just be, you know, if I'm at the family reunion or, you know, I always had a knack for just teaching the kids and being that stuff. So it's kind of the same thing, just a higher scale, you know, on the college level. And so I've always just, you know, tried to take this coaching thing somewhere. So that's kind of where the focus is at right now. But
Tommy love the kids.
But ultimately, just, you know, be successful in whatever it is I do.
That's real.
So what has been
passionate about what I'm doing.
And we're going to break, so I'll ask this question when we come right back. We'll be right back with some more of the Power Hour here on 107.9 The Fan, featuring Coach Thomas Bullock of the Texas A&M Texarkana men's basketball team. We'll be right back.
Today's sports update with Drew Gladden.
Grady Dick scored 21 points. DeJuan Harris Jr. had 17 points, 6 rebounds, and 5 assists. And number 9 Kansas held on after blowing a 14-point first-half lead to beat 5th-ranked Texas 88-80. Kevin McCullough Jr. added 16 points. Joseph Yesufu had 14 off the bench, and KJ Adams finished with 10. They helped the Jayhawks overcome an off night from Jalen Wilson, the Big 12 scoring leader, who had just 2 points. Marcus Carr led the Longhorns with 29 points, including a series of buckets in the closing minutes that gave them a chance. Timmy Allen also had 18 points for Texas. Rommel Manziel scored 18 points and grabbed 13 rebounds to help Jackson State hold off Arkansas Pine Bluff 88-84 in double overtime. Jamarcus Jones scored 17 points off the bench for the Tigers. Ken Evans Jr. scored 15 points, and his three-pointer gave Jackson State the lead for good with 1:57 remaining in the second overtime. William Douglas had 19 points, and Prairie View A&M cruised to a 75-45 victory over Florida A&M. Douglas was 6 of 8 shooting, including 2 for 3 from distance, and went 5 for 7 from the foul line for the Panthers.
Hi, I'm Smokey Bear, and I made an assistant to help you out, because only you can prevent wildfires.
Hey, Assistant Smokey Bear, call me Papa Bear, because I'm grilling up dinner. Do you get it?
Yes, good job.
So, what should I do with all these coals?
Don't just toss them out. Put them in a metal container because those embers can start a wildfire.
I understand. The stakes are high.
Ha, 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 ha.
Learn more at SmokeyBear.com.
Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
I'm Dr. Miller, a dentist and a volunteer for Dental Lifeline Network. DLN is a nonprofit that has helped me literally change the lives of people in my community through the Donated Dental Services program. DLN asks dentists to volunteer to see just one of the many patients in need each year. If you're a dentist or know a dentist, please share this information. Like me, they can make a real difference in someone's life. DLN makes it easy.
Go to willyouseeone.org to learn more. That's willyouseeone.org.
Welcome back to the Power Hour. We're going to shout out our studio sponsors, Liberty Idle High School, where leopard pride never dies. I got my leopard socks on, my LE tie. It's going to go down. And Budweiser. Man, I got a young son. I might start drinking this weekend. We're going to win a break next weekend. I ain't going to say Coach drink, but Tyler be on there 42 straight with no chaser. But you know how that goes. OG, quit hating. Tyler ain't going nowhere. OG, sit back and just keep.
You heard what the man said.
OG, sit back, please. But anyway,
what the man said.
We have my man, Coach TB, Tommy Bullock. Yep. I call you Bullock. The Bullock people down here in Texarkana, aren't they, Tyler? That's what I thought he related to. I'm like, oh, Tyler got a local guy. He said he from Salt Lake. I'm like, oh, that must be your cousin. But thank you so much, Coach TB, for coming in. And we were talking off air, and the people, you from Jersey, you from the East Coast, and then your family migrated to the West Coast. So what is that like going from Mafia land to Mormonism?
Another thing, I was super young moving into it. I wasn't even really, I was kind of oblivious, to the whole thing coming in. But as I got older, just kind of learned more about it. And to be honest, I don't know enough about it to speak on.
Well, not that. I'm just saying moving to Utah.
Oh, yeah. Moving to Utah was definitely a change. Like when I first got there, I mean, I can remember the point where, like, how it is now to where it was, like, drastic change. Like this, I mean,
what was the change?
Just a lot more black people.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean,
because I remember growing up.
Like, you can look around and you'll see black people now. When I first got there, and I remember I was probably like 9 years old, and like it. I mean, you walk anywhere, you getting stared at. It was just different.
There's a high Hispanic population now, I think, right?
Yeah.
I've watched some of the gangland stuff about Salt Lake City and the people there, and
he's a weirdo sometimes.
Yeah, I told you, he acts a fool. But yeah, so like
it's definitely become more diverse over the years. But like I said, I've always just been kind of one to, take the situation for what it is and just, make the best of it. And I think that even stemmed from a younger age. Like I was oblivious to it at first, and then, I kind of just kind of went with it.
You weren't a Jazz fan?
Nah.
I couldn't believe that either. When he said a Trailblazers fan, I'm like, what?
I don't know. I've always liked the.
You grew up right there?
Huh?
You grew up right there?
Yeah, it's like I said, I became a huge Damian Lillard fan, but then like just being right there, and then he went to college there.
Dame Dollars.
Yeah. So I kind of just, at first it was kind of how I am about a lot of sports. Like I don't have a main team. I just kind of like to watch sports and do those things, and then I just started watching them. And
I saw a lot of that Sacramento or Oakland come out of Dame at the foul line a week ago.
Yeah, when he told dude.
Yeah, that was crazy, right?
I saw that too.
Dude, they be trying him, man. He like, man, I'm cool, calm, and collected, and they want to talk crazy.
Well, I mean, they should know who his family is. I mean, his brother's kind of hard. Like, I wouldn't mess with his people.
I wouldn't mess with Dame.
I mess with Dame. I wouldn't mess with Houston. Like, he's an NBA player, like Ja Morant. What you think about Ja Morant?
Crazy talent. A crazy talent. You talking about off the court?
Yeah.
He's probably crazy. I don't know too much about him that way.
Yeah.
Why you ask that? What did
he got a personal vendetta against him, that's why.
No, I don't. Okay.
Yes, he does.
So
my
wife's cousin is Ja Morant's baby mother.
Oh,
the little girl, that's my wife's cousin.
Okay.
So for a while, I didn't like Ja Morant, right? Because you're treating my family wrong.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So
like,
there's a person.
Yeah, like, bro, I don't care what you do. It's up when I see. Like, man, you got my wife tight about you, bro. I'm finna put these hands. Like, bro, you don't understand, man. So, that's where my thing with Ja Morant comes in. But my wife told me to chill, and he takes good care of his daughter. And
I told him to chill because we might get Ja Morant on the show one day or something, and he gonna turn us down because of you.
Well, I just wish that he would have treated my wife's cousin. And this is her first cousin. This is close relation. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Man. So, but, but I'm talking about his friends pointing the red beam at the Pacers training staff.
What? Play some South Side.
I ain't tripping. Hey, man. Hey. Hey.
All right, so I got a question. what you think about the Kyrie Irving trade. Kyrie Irving, if people didn't know, Kyrie Irving has been traded from the Brooklyn Nets to the Dallas Mavericks,
It's
right
going
down
up
the road.
American Airlines.
So what's your opinion on that trade? Is it a good trade or no?
I think I'm trying to get to Dallas so I can
Real
go watch
talk.
a game.
Yeah, let's go.
I ain't seen Kyrie play live, but I mean I don't know, man. He's starting to move around a lot.
Too much.
I don't like the fact that the Nets owner was like, I don't want to trade him to the Lakers because that's where he wants to go.
It's way too much going on behind it. Obviously, we don't know the ins and outs, but so I can't feel some type of way. But I feel like there's a lot underlying, like something like that.
Kyrie Irving was doomed when he started. He was doomed from the flat Earth stuff.
Oh yeah.
All right, not wanting to get the COVID shot.
Man, too smart for his own good, man. He just
I would have had somebody pump water in me, like on camera, saying, I'm taking my shot. Like, just to shut people up. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you don't want to take the shot, Tyler, don't take the shot, right?
That is what they say.
You know what I'm saying? So,
he different for sure.
yeah, man, what do you think about NBA players now, though? Have you seen them, how they evolved to, first they were rappers when I was like a kid, now they want to be gangsters and stuff. It's crazy.
I mean, to be honest, I think it kind of goes back to just recently, like a LeBron James interview, and he was talking about how he just want to be normal.
Mm-hmm.
I think some of that stuff I feel like a lot of it's been in them. Like, it might just be them. They just have been in that light and have had that platform for so long that they can't really, be who they are.
Themselves, yeah.
I mean, Carmelo Anthony, you're from the East Coast. You probably know his stories about hanging out with the big bloods and all this and that.
Yeah.
But as he evolved, he became what Kion's dad or whatever. Keon's dad, and he started molding his son. And I remember from when I was in college, Carmelo had a Stop Snitching shirt that he got in trouble for, lost a lot of money for. But now he probably would never wear that.
Yeah, I mean, because like I said, he's just being held to a higher standard. Him, the career he's had, and him having to, everybody knows who he is. So I think you just got to carry yourself different. And I think a lot of the NBA guys, the more we've gotten into how society is now, I think some of them are kind of just coming out. Like, this is me, rather than having to be that person all the time and always like they can't do nothing normal. Like Bron said, he was like, I can't. He's like, I wish I could just go into the movies or something and watch it and get some popcorn or something. He said in the interview, and it was just like, I'm sure a lot of Bron is obviously even higher level, right. I'm sure a lot of them feel that way. Like, they just want to hoop and just be normal.
So what I asked to my last question was like, okay, as an African American coach, right? And you look the same as these players. You understand their plights and their everything. Do you handle them differently because you understand what they're going through, whether it be dealing with some foolishness in class, being the only person that looks like y'all in the class? Like, how do you deal with that? Like, what do you do? What do you say to your young? Come on, you got some guy from Memphis, and some rough places. Not necessarily rough, but different places.
Back to what I was saying earlier about just like making it real for him. Like, this is the first step of that. Like what we just talked about. Like, you're at a college, university, you represent the university, you represent TK, and you kind of have to carry yourself that way. So it's like, as much as sometimes who you are, where you come from, like comes out or whatever the case is, I really just keep it simple for him. Like, hey man, we probably shouldn't do that, or, just try to, have a balance of, just carrying yourself a certain way. And, hopefully they take what they take from it, and I can be that impact and just,
So kind of talk about some of the players on this year's team. I mean, I know this is your first year with them, but kind of talk about some of the guys. Who are some of the guys on the team? And, just talk about that, the makeup of this team that you guys have over at A&M.
I mean, I think it starts from the top, obviously, with the seniors. Like, you got Connor, who's, the town.
Connor Roulette.
Yeah, the Iron Eagle, man. He's
hometown hero.
Yeah.
Y'all call him Iron Eagle?
That's what I've heard Coach Wall call him that before.
I guess that's his nickname. And he got the 1,000-point career last year, and kind of, he went junior college first, and then, ended up back here where he's from. So it was kind of a story. His story's been great, man. He's been able to play back home in front of his family, and which is a blessing for a lot of people. So I think he obviously sets the tone for the team. He's
He's a dog.
He's a dog, man. He's a backbone. I mean, he shows up consistent. He works hard every day, and leads by example that way. And then obviously you got KP and Trey, who
KP's a senior.
Yeah, yep. KP's a senior.
He low-key a superstar in the city. I seen him with some pictures with the Balenciaga, doing the pose.
Yeah, that's Hollywood, man. He's like you say, he's the other part. Him and Trey just
Trey too,
continue to show up and set an example for the guys. So they've been fun guys to coach, and from the bottom and then going down, obviously guys coming back. I think they're doing a great job of just setting the tone and making it a place where guys want to come back and play. Like, man, I want to be that. I want to be able to break those records and call this place home. So, good group of guys to coach, man. I've had a lot of fun with them, and sometimes it's different being like you're saying, like being so close in age. And, kind of being a younger coach.
Well, I look at that as a good thing, though.
Yeah.
Relatability. I see you got the blue racers on.
Yeah.
They can relate to that. Like, people always ask me, man, why you wear Jordans to work? And Tyler made fun of me. He probably gonna wear Jordans. I do that because, unfortunately, kids in a certain age group, that sparks interest.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I learned that in college. Like, you gotta use small things to spark a person's interest, and that's how you get into them, and that's how you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so
sure.
That's where the whole shoe thing with me comes from. But like, I like to see young coaches that coach younger guys, because when KP starts tripping, Coach Wall will probably
yeah.
Whereas you can do that, but you can also be like, come here, KP, let me talk to you, bro. This is why this ain't what we finna do. So
sure.
I think that, that's why I say that you have a bright future, and homie probably know this is a tadpole for you. You finna fume.
Yeah.
In a couple of years when you get your, just making sure he all right with
experience and all that stuff. Yeah.
Don't nobody hate on you on the bike end. You know what I'm saying? Because if as good as coach as you are, I'd be like, man, I don't want you going nowhere. You know what I'm saying? Help me win some natties here. Go to Kansas City.
I mean, I'm just trying to keep my head down, man, and just, keep working, see where it gets me. Stay humble in that way. Not to say I had plans to leave in.
No.
I mean,
just career growth.
Yeah.
Career growth.
Career growth for sure is the plan. So,
when are we going to Kansas City? 'Cause me and Tyler gonna take off. Coming. Dr. Brown, we gonna take off. Me and Tyler, just 2 days. I know I got it on my work.
Yeah, when is the conference tournament? First of all, I know the conference tournament is a little bit closer than the national tournament.
I want to say it's so we got to the 16th. We'll be done with conference, or I think it's the 16th. I want to say something like that. So a couple weeks.
Gotcha.
So we got 4 games.
You can keep going. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, we got.
Just real quick.
We got 4 games. So we'll play HT, Houston Tillotson out in Austin, and then we'll play in San Antonio versus Olu. And then we'll have 2 games following that. So I think it's that week after.
Olu, Our Lady of the Lake.
Yeah, Our Lady of the Lake in San Antonio. Then we'll go and play Louisiana Christian and Xavier.
So New Orleans.
New Orleans, and that will be our last 2 games. And then I believe it's that following week.
All right, we'll be right back. We'll finish up on that note with some more of the Power Hour here on 107.9 The Fan.
This is how we do every day. We be grinding, and if you wanna come and text us,
if you love them enough to turn off your music and pretend like their music is your music,
this is Mommy's jam.
then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure they're in the right car seat.
Let's play it again.
Check today at nhtsa.gov/the right seat. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Right now, our country feels divided, but there's a place where people are coming together.
I gotta tell you, I was nervous to talk to someone so different than me.
Me too, but I'm glad we are.
Love has no labels, and One Small Step are helping people with different political views, beliefs, and life experiences come together through conversation, and it feels good.
Wow, your story is so...
interesting?
Yeah.
When people actually sit Take a step toward bringing our country and your community together by having the courage to start a conversation at lovehasnolabels.com/one small step. A message from StoryCorps, Love Has No Labels, and the Ad Council.
Welcome back to the Power Hour here on 107.9 The Fan, and we do want to send a shout out to our studio broadcasting partners. Our studio broadcast is brought to you by
I'm looking at myself.
Liberty Aloe ISD and Budweiser. I don't drink. Coach Bullock doesn't drink. My boy Earl, he been on them here lately.
After the past 2 weeks I done had on the line, yes, sir.
But I tell you what, if I did drink, I would probably grab me a Budweiser. Shout out to them for being
what about
proud supporters.
42 straight with no chasers?
That's you can't drink that every day. That's a little strong.
Hey, you can the money you make?
I don't make no money.
Don't you got a big 42 bottle at your house?
No, sir.
Oh, you don't?
It's gone.
Oh, okay.
We drunk it up. Class reunion. Shout out to the class of 2012. We turned up with that bottle. That's where that went.
Passing drinks outside.
But so, outside, everybody be quiet.
Man. Oh, man.
We outside. That's all I'm going to say.
We outside.
We outside. But anyway, shout out to Coach TB. Is that what they call you?
Yes, sir.
So we gonna.
When the kids try you, what you do?
You said what?
When they try you, what do you do? I know they try you. I mean, I'll try you if you're my coach. You're my same age.
I mean,
we go to the same clubs, same girls, all that.
I wouldn't say they try me. We just, we butt heads.
Yeah.
Certain time that's gonna happen. I mean, when we both, we just live in that same space, so you see each other every day. We getting after each other. They don't like what I'm saying sometimes. It is what it is.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't say they try me. I think we have a good enough relationship where there's just a respect there.
Yeah.
Like, I have your best intention, your best
absolutely
interest at heart.
Right.
So it's not like, if the second they feel like that, then they would probably be trying me. But like, I feel like I've done a good job and I came in, trying to make it known like, hey, I'm here for y'all, at y'all disposal. Like if y'all need anything, like I'm here to help y'all. So anything I do say, don't take it personal, or I'm just trying to help you better yourself.
For some reason, basketball gets really intense.
Yeah.
Is it because like there's no padding, there's no helmets, there's no? I remember, man, when I was playing I played.
You feel everything.
Yeah,
facts.
So I played at an NAIA school. They went NAIA once I left. It was Central Christian College of Kansas. They were Division II, and then, they were NAIA, then they went Division II or something like that to get state funding. There's money involved. But I just remember we used to knock. Me and the dudes from Houston used to knock with everybody, and it was just like, why are we out here fighting? You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, I don't know. It's maybe that I never thought about that. That's probably why.
Basketball's a very physical sport.
Because it's physical and there's no.
People don't think basketball's physical, but it's very
physical.
Yes,
you can get more cuts and bruises in basketball than you can in football. Almost,
football you pad it up.
Yeah,
so like you said, you might. When you do get physical, you get hit. You feel it.
Right.
Like, hey, bro,
there's certain different
going for that.
different pains. It's different pains.
Even like in the post, the whole back downs, and when you foul somebody hard. And,
you get hit in the chest, bro. It make you feel some
elbow,
type of way.
anything.
Yes. But so how are we gonna finish the conference slate? We Red River champions. We gonna try to win the Red River. What we trying to do?
Yeah, we went in the Red River first.
Okay.
We're gonna go, win these 4 road games.
Do y'all get rings for winning Red River?
I'm not sure in the conference. I'm pretty sure. I think you do, actually.
A drill guy gonna have to give me and Tyler one. We'll split it.
Yeah, I'll talk to him.
Please do. We'll split it. Tyler will wear it, and I'll put it on the chain.
See what I can do for you.
We'll split it for half a year. Tyler got it for 6 months, and I got it for 6 months. But so on the recruiting front, how do you guys look? I know you can't say kids' names, but you got some guys. I know Tyler got your pseudo.
My question is, talking about recruiting, what are you guys' approach to recruiting? Like, how do you guys approach recruiting necessarily?
I think that's another one of the ways that NAIA is different. Like, you don't have to. Usually, there's a lot of recruiting rules and stuff like that, but it would be a lot to get into.
Yeah.
There's a lot of rules and stuff, obviously within the NCAA and all that stuff. But like, with NAIA, it's pretty open. Like, you can kind of recruit.
Oh wow.
Recruit everywhere in a way. So. we just look. I think the biggest thing, in building a culture here and doing those things within recruiting is, just we look for the toughness and the, more so like the background. Like that's kind of where I kind of started a little bit too, and like trying to find guys' backgrounds and, where they come from, because that oftentimes will kind of tell you what type of player they'll be.
Bobby Petrino told me that yesterday.
Huh?
Bobby Petrino told me exactly what you said yesterday.
Yeah.
Worry about a person's background more than where they are now. I was like, huh?
I mean, because it always comes out, that type of player will be within like, what they've seen, where they, where they had to get it, like whether they got it out the mud or, it'll kind of tell you the loyalty and like what they'll do for you when they play here. So, or like how much they'll appreciate a scholarship.
I almost said, is it over love?
But I mean,
that's an inside joke.
I'm super new to that too, like with the recruiting, just knowing where to look for recruiting and look for guys. So,
who put you on that? The background? Because I've never. Yesterday, man, I found myself in our parking lot arguing with Bobby Petrino. How you doing, sir? And background. Why you care about the kids' background? They come from single parent households. You know what I'm saying?
Because that give you a tough player. Like if you recruit somebody that's has never been given anything. He'll get here and see our facilities and be like man, I don't never want to leave. Like I'm trying to put my heart on that floor.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Because it just depends. Like not to say he never had anything. But
I know what you mean.
Like a player's background can tell you a lot about what type of player they are on the court.
And like I tell him sometimes, when guys are exposed to something, sometimes they never really know until you're exposed to it.
Until you're exposed to it.
Yeah, you never really know what's out there till you're exposed to it. So
I think that's huge that you as a young coach are keen to look for certain attributes and characteristics in the guys you're recruiting. Because I have a little thing I do on the side, right? And I'm just trying to get someone recruited, right? Whereas if I'm talking to a coach, these questions you're asking, I'm probably finna lie to you. Because I don't want you to know about he's a latchkey kid and single parent, and, But I think that's huge that you're getting to know the actual person more than the
and that's
player.
not to say, like, if he has the ideal background.
No.
He'll just get a scholarship, it's just something that you look at. But, I mean, you still obviously got to put the work in and you got to be good enough. And, what's good enough, it changes. You might be brought in for a certain role. You might be brought in because you just work hard. Hold guys accountable. Or you might be brought in because you're a bucket.
Yeah, right.
So it's like it's different for everybody.
It's more than just on the court, right? Yeah. I want you to say because people. I'm not a coach, and he isn't either. So
it's a lot more than just on the court. For sure.
So go ahead, finish what you're saying. My bad.
I was saying that there's a lot of stuff that goes into a lot of different aspects, but definitely more than just your ability to play. But like I said, sometimes it could be just that, like, you get a recruit that, is willing to come here or, likes what we have to offer. And he just happens to be, you can't turn him down. He's a crazy talent, whatever, then, that might be the case. But then sometimes, you have other players that fill certain roles and, you bring them in because they're good teammates or, they're everyday guy to show up and, you don't ever have to worry about them. You think about you got 16, 17 dudes on the roster.
Yesterday, me and Tyler. No, I got a question. I'm gonna make this quick. Yesterday, me and Tyler were arguing. Can you be a good coach, or are you a good position-specific trainer? Like, can they be the same? Can you?
For instance, all coaches.
I know we got a minute.
Yeah, we only got like 56 now. All coaches aren't necessarily coaches. Some guys are more better specific like skill set training guys than they are maybe coaching an overall team. Yeah. So do you think both of those translate to each other real quick?
Yeah, I think a coach is a coach. Like, guys will just look up to a certain person and like, hey, this person's always had answers for me or, guided me in this way, whether that's in my craft and working on the court and doing skill work or whether that's just, just being there every time I come to class in the morning and I have a question about something, I'm in the office for you to come in there and just, so I think just being a coach is being a coach and just how you touch people and impact people's lives is that's just kind of what
just got to adjust sometimes.
You got to just adjust, but there's definitely different areas, but I think a coach is a coach.
We got a few seconds. So Super Bowl picks. We ain't did Super Bowl picks, man. So I'm going to ask you. Here we go. Who's your Super Bowl pick?
Pat Mahomes.
Say less. What you got?
I just want to rock, buddy. Philadelphia. What are you talking about? We finna do the dance.
Okay.
I can't do it. I'm a Giants fan. I can't do.
I'm a
I can't do
Cowboys
Philly.
fan,
I
and
can't do
I'm
Philly.
picking Philly.
Coach TB, appreciate you joining us, my man.
Appreciate y'all
all
for
love
having
to
me,
you,
man.
brother. Yes, sir. We wish you well along the journey, man. Good luck to you guys the rest of this season. Go win that conference tournament, and hopefully me and Gil can
have you back after the conference
when
tournament.
we get on the road, come check y'all out.
Get with me, man.
We got you.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
I'll definitely come back.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate y'all.
All right, everybody. Have a blessed week. Take it easy.
They say